All right. Well, welcome to another episode in the Run Breiter podcast. This is episode number 27, and today we're going to be doing a solo episode. It's been probably 5 or 6 episodes since the last time I did do a solo episode, and I want to talk about a lot of things going on. Updates with my personal training. I want to go through updates as far as some directions in the brand itself, as well as what I'm doing to give back to runners through my coaching, and go through some of the training that I've been doing with these other runners where we've been seeing a lot of success, as well as a reminder about how you can work with me on getting your free running coaching plan and to be able to continue to see your life improve with running. So first, I want to give some updates as far as my running. I haven't hopped on the podcast since the New York City Marathon solo to really announce how that race went. If you follow me on the different platforms, whether that's Instagram or TikTok or my YouTube page, you probably would know, but I had this big goal of breaking that 3-hour marathon, and in New York City, I was unable to accomplish that goal. I ended up running that race in 3 hours and 31 minutes. It was my second attempt of breaking a 3-hour marathon. New York City, though, it was a challenging race for anyone who didn't see the conditions or run that race. It was record high temperature, being 75 degrees, as well as it was just very humid. And what I will say too, besides those two main factors, is that, I put a lot of pressure on myself. Just starting that race, I think my resting heart rate was probably as high as like 130, 140 before the race even got started. So I had a lot of anxiety, a lot of excitement for the race, all positive, all good, but that stuff can really interfere and burn out a lot of energy. But like I said, it was a hot day. I think the average person this year, and don't fully quote me on it, but I believe the average person this year compared to last year's New York City Marathon was somewhere between 15 to 20 minutes slower. So what that tells me is that I simply was not alone. And I know that for sure because the people that I have spoke to, friends of mine that I run with, people that I run with in the running club, across the board, there was people with sub 3 hour goals who ran similar times to me, slower times than me, faster here and there for sure, but across the board, this was a very challenging race. In New York City too, in general, it ain't an easy course for anyone who has not competed in New York City. You have a lot of rolling hills as well as some very steep hills. Overall, I think the total elevation is a net positive rather than negative, which makes for a really difficult race. But that race, I will say, regardless of the fact that my time was not what I was hoping for, was a phenomenal experience. The vibe and energy of New York City was iconic. It was nothing I've ever seen before. Yes, it was my third marathon, so I don't have a whole lot of experience, but I could just tell. I mean, by doing Philly, which is known as one of the better marathons to do in the U.S. I mean, this was Philly on steroids. And there's obviously 5 different bureaus in New York City that we ran through. Every city, every block had a different vibe, had different things going on. You couldn't really get a break as far as the energy went, which really made for a really incredible experience. I really wish I was feeling better physically during the race, but mentally, I really just enjoyed that experience thoroughly. So for anyone who might be new to running, they want to consider trying a marathon out, if you can get into New York City, it's an amazing race to do. I will tell you, it might be hard going from New York City to another race. You might want to do a marathon prior to New York City just to get the feel of a marathon and then save it for that experience. But I'm sure if you continue doing New York or you venture to some of these other big marathons too, you can still get that similar feel. But as someone who lives in New York City, I run through these areas all the time, but it felt like I'd never ran those areas before just based on how the race was. So that is the update about New York City. Now, I do want to talk about where my training is heading from here. I'm currently recording this podcast on December 9th, and I have a marathon coming up fairly quickly. After running New York, I took like about a week or two off, and then getting back into running, it has been a little bit of a challenge. I've been getting after it. I've been running consistently 5 to 6 days a week, but my total mileage has not been what it was throughout the New York City Marathon training, as well as my drive towards that 3-hour marathon is not what it was. Now, is that to say I'm never going to attempt or complete a 3-hour marathon? 100% not. I'm going to go for that goal. It's something that will happen in my lifetime. I assure you that. I'm hoping it's something that happens in 2023. But yeah, with the Miami Marathon being at the end of January for me, as well as the Austin Marathon in the middle of February, I don't see myself being at a fitness level that is stronger than I was going into New York City. Now, that course in Miami, it could be a significantly easier course. It's fully flat, but we're not sure what the weather is going to look like. So I'm not ruling out that I'm going to attempt a sub 3 hour marathon on that date. Maybe I'll just simply attempt a PR. My best marathon ever was 3 hours and 13 minutes. Hey, it would be really cool to crack 3:10, to crack 3:05 and qualify for Chicago. There's different options out there as far as what I could do. But sitting here today, I don't feel confident in myself that I will be prepared for a sub 3 hour marathon. And part of me too wants to just simply enjoy the race, have fun, not worry about my pace, not worry about my time. You know, one thing that I've been really enjoying more than anything right now is creating the content, entertaining, motivating, and educating people about running. And I think these videos have really done that, and that has given me a lot of fulfillment. Yes, I love personal goals and I love doing things for myself. Everyone does. I don't care who you are. We all have our own goals and ambitions and self-motivators. But I recently have been finding a lot more fulfillment helping other runners out. And I'm going to talk about some of the coaching that I've been doing in a little bit. But I think the same thing goes with the content, right? I mean, I think, yes, there are going to be a handful of people who that 3 hour goal, me breaking that 3 hour goal, will really inspire them and get them to run, will motivate them to want to do their first marathon. That will 100% happen. But I think I can make just as much impact, if not more impact right now, just being a better content creator and continuing my running journey, continuing doing these marathons and other races. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. Plus, I did just buy this GoPro here, which I'm really excited to start using. I'm not gonna lie, I bought it like a week and a half ago, and I've just taken it out of the box. I haven't really gotten anywhere with as far as how to use it and whatnot. But one day at a time, right? I did also just buy a new video editing software, which I'm really excited to be using. It was a little bit of a heavy investment, but now I'm gonna have a better software for video editing, a better video maker, and there's other things within the brand itself that I've been investing into. I invested in a new audio platform for my videos in the background. I'm really excited to utilize that. So I'm not making any money doing this, I will say that, but I know that in order to grow the brand, to create high quality content, you have to invest in yourself. That's something I've been talking about a lot recently. And so like, how am I doing this? How am I investing in myself? Well, I'm doing things on the side, such as selling old things like memorabilia, things that I don't need anymore, old video games, things that are taking away from my passion and what I find fulfillment from. And I'm taking that towards buying things like the GoPro, buying the video editing software to be able to grow Run Breiter, to be able to grow my passion. And so I'm really, really just truly excited about the direction in the brand. I have a lot more ability with my technology, so to speak, in place to not only create better content, but to be able to do it quicker and to overall just make more content. And so I'm kind of at a weird point right now where I have a lot of content that I just want to simply release, but I was kind of going through the transition phase of essentially learning how to use the new software. So there's going to be a lot of really cool stuff coming out, whether it's on YouTube, Instagram, Reels, all that good stuff. So really just a lot to look forward to there. Now, one thing I will say is if you have ideas, things you want to see, if you have certain videos you want me to do, let me know. You know, that stuff I feel like I wish people came to me with more, because I know there's a lot of people who consume my content, but not a lot of people who give me a ton of feedback. Some people do. I understand I got to grow a little bit more to be able to see a lot of consistent feedback. But please, if you're listening to this podcast, or if you're watching this in the form of a YouTube video, leave a comment, reach out to me directly. I love getting this feedback to make sure that I am creating the content that the people want to see. Now, I do want to talk about my coaching, something that I truly have a huge passion for. For those who this might be your first episode listening, the reason why I created Run Breiter in the first place was because of my love of coaching. I coached track for 3 years in college while I was a student at Ohio University, and for 2 years I coached at the middle school level and 1 year at the high school level. And after college, I wasn't doing any coaching for 3 years. I felt like there was a piece in my life that was simply missing, and that I really wanted to get back into coaching. But I understood that I couldn't be a coach full time or do it on the side with my normal 8 to 5 job that I have right now. But what I did know was that social media was growing and that I had time and hustle to be able to help runners out. But I didn't want to charge money for it because I knew that it would be hard to convince people to pay me money to get a coaching plan. There's so many other resources, so many other plans out there. So that's why I do it for free. because I want to be able to help as many people as I can. And so for those who don't know, the way you used to get a running plan with me was you would go on my website, you'd fill out a Google form, and I essentially helped out about 25, 30 runners with those personal custom running plans that I would make from scratch based on their specific goals, where they're running, how often they want to run, all that good stuff, their challenges with staying committed. That's another big one that is really the most important, because when you understand that, you can use that as a way of coaching to make sure that people are able to commit and that they can stay consistent with the running, because really staying consistent is the most important part. But what I found was it was really hard to get feedback when you actually weren't having those conversations, getting a Google form in the form of email and then sending back a plan and then maybe messaging back and forth. That wasn't too effective. But what I've been recently doing is telling people that, hey, you can still get a free custom running plan from me. All I ask is that you jump on a quick video with me and, through Zoom, and I'm able to record it so we can share the content with other people in the community. But as a result, I will give you that plan, and it's going to be a better plan because we're actually having those conversations, really driving into the why with running. You want to lose weight. You want to get faster. You have a race you're training for. You want to have running as part of your lifestyle because you really like the running culture, whatever it is, and understanding why can't you stay consistent with running. Is it a timing thing? Is it a injury thing? Is it you don't like running in cold weather? Whatever it is. But I have been there for people, pushing people through the fact that we've been having these one-on-one video conversations. Right now, I'm really working closely with probably 6 or 7 runners that are communicating with me regularly about updates on how their plan is and what they're going towards with running. And I've been going back and forth with them, and it's really been a really cool journey due to the fact that we are creating that content associated with their plan. So I'm really excited to see where these runners go. And with people training for marathons, half marathons, looking to PR in races, looking to lose weight. So it's really exciting. Due to the fact that it's December, something I really want to talk about that I talked about a lot last year, but I want to bring it up again, is the fact that it is December. And I think this month more than anything, people put their foot on the brake and they take it easy because they know that, okay, next year I'll just do it. Whether that's running, right, or your professional life, your social life, whatever it is. But I view December as a month of opportunity, a month of finishing the year strong and then continuing those habits into next year. For me, I'm not going to act like I'm perfect, right? I'm lowering my expectation for my 3-hour marathon goal. That's something that's not a priority right now. Is that me being lazy, though, and just like being concerned about the weather and different things like that? Is that what it's about? No, it's just because my head is not in that space. But I'm taking that energy that I was using towards that 3-hour marathon and I'm using it in different areas of my life. My full-time job, my content creation, helping other people with these running plans, my family, things of that nature. So something that I do want to address here as far as a message is just because something's getting hard in your life and challenging doesn't mean that you have to continue doing it. You can push yourself through it, but you can make adjustments and then use that energy towards something else, something that you appreciate more in that moment. But also don't be afraid to take a couple steps back, reevaluate the situation, and then put that energy back in that place that you were doing in the past. So those are some things I did want to mention. Now, like I said, I have those 2 marathons coming up, January, February, Miami and Austin. 2023 is going to be a great year for a lot of things. And we're going to have a podcast, a YouTube video coming out talking about 2023 goals. But something that I will foreshadow is that I will be doing a lot of races. We will be recording a lot of content, and we are going to be working with more and more runners every single week, every single month. So I'm really excited where things are headed with the brand, with my goals, with other runners' goals. All 3 of those really are the reason the brand is here, just to make sure that I'm motivating as many people as possible, that I'm motivating myself, driving myself, because, selfishly, me having Run Breiter, me having this brand, this presence, it keeps myself accountable. So, like, for example, for you, if you're someone that feels that you have something you really care about, but you struggle to find consistency with it, then find something to keep you accountable. I'm not saying you have to make a full social media brand and drop a daily post and create a podcast and all these things. If you like that and you want to do it, go for it. But whether that's talking about it with other people, writing the goal on the wall, or whatever strategy you have, just do something to keep yourself accountable in December through the rest of the year. Finish it off strong. But yeah, that's really all I wanted to talk about. I really hope everyone enjoyed this episode. If you are interested in getting a personal custom running plan, meeting with me one-on-one over video, like I said, we are going to record the content, but I do want to meet with as many people as possible and help you with your goals as much possible. Go to my website, which is runbreiter.com. That's RUNB as in boy, REI, T as in Tom, ER. and get your free running plan today. We'll meet for 30 minutes, and then after that, you can message me on Instagram. I've been doing a lot of voice memos with people where they'll ask me questions, talking while they're walking to work, and I'll do the same thing back. It's really easy. It doesn't take a lot of time. Commit yourself to some sort of goal for next year. Start working on it now, though, right? The best time to work on a goal is the second you think about it and you have a gut feeling it's something you want to do. So if you need help finding races too, or just any sort of running advice tips, let me know. I will never say no to any question. I will always answer it to the best of my ability. Be honest, I don't know everything, right? I have my certain skills that I'm really strong at, but I want to make sure that I'm helping as many people and helping grow this digital running community as much as I possibly can. But thank you so much for listening to the episode. One thing I can't talk about enough is the amount I appreciate everyone's support. Friends, family, followers, subscribers, whoever you are in my life. I truly do appreciate everyone who listens to my content, who provides feedback, who shows support for the running that I do, the fitness that I do, the things that I go after. So I want to be able to be that supporter for as many people as possible as well, and see people thrive and grow with their lives too. I think what comes around goes around, and I have a lot that I want to give because of all I've gotten. Please, if you enjoyed this episode, leave it a like, give it 5 stars. It really just simply helps the mission that we are trying to do here, which is creating the strongest quality content as possible and building as large of a running community as possible. We're going to be looking at bringing on stronger and stronger future guests. So the more reputable the podcast becomes, the more likelihood someone who is well-known would come on the podcast. And we want to bring on more and more well-known people to simply share the value. Because like I said before, I know a lot, I don't know everything, but I want to learn and I want to bring people on who are going to educate this community as well. But again, thank you. I hope you enjoy your day. And as always, don't forget to run brighter. And we'll be back with another one.